Taking tutorial for beginners, in-depth tutorial. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to use Obsidian for note-taking as a beginner. Step by step, we'll cover installing Obsidian, creating and structuring notes using folders and tags, linking ideas with backlinks, and understanding graph view so your notes actually connect in a meaningful way. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn Obsidian into a clean, powerful second brain, even if you're starting from scratch. Let's get started. First of all, open your browser and go to obsidian.md and then download the version for your system and install it. So here I'm going to get Obsidian for Windows. You can get it for other platforms too, and you can see these options available here. So download it and then you need to install it. And then once you install it and run it, you will land in a place that looks something like this. Now you're not going to have this long list of vaults here. These are my vaults which I already have. If you're just someone who is using Obsidian for the first time, then you'll be creating your very first vault and you won't have this list over here. You'll only have this area, and then over here you'll see three options. So you have the option of either creating a new vault, opening a folder as a vault, or opening a vault from Obsidian Sync. So we're just going to go with creating the new vault, and we're going to click on create, and then we'll be able to create a new Obsidian vault under a folder. Now with Obsidian, what happens is that inside of your system there's going to be a folder that you select, and inside of that folder are going to be all of your notes that you're going to create in Obsidian. So as you can see, you have these notes over here in Obsidian, and that folder is going to act as a vault. Now this at the back you can see as a whole vault, and inside of that vault I have folders and notes. So this whole vault is a one folder which is inside your system. So when you go to this option, you can create a new vault. When you go down here, you can open a folder as a vault too. So you can choose an existing folder of markdown files. So for example, the folder that I was talking about, which is going to be created in your system, maybe you already have a folder in your system anywhere. You have a folder which has some notes inside in simple markdown. So you need to make sure that the files are markdown files. And then as long as the folder consists of markdown files, you can decide or select that folder to be your vault. And all of the notes inside of that folder will be your notes, and they'll be displayed over here. So you can open an existing folder, you can use an existing folder as a vault, and for that you'll just click here and you can use that folder as a vault. And then the third option you have here is opening a vault from Obsidian Sync, and with that you can set up a synced vault using existing remote vault, which is not on your system here, but you can sync it using Obsidian Sync. So Obsidian Sync is a paid version of Obsidian. You need to pay for that. And then when you pay for Obsidian Sync and you get Obsidian Sync, then you can synchronize your vaults across remote vaults. So your vault could be on a different computer, on a different PC, and you can sync it on this PC using Obsidian Sync. So for that, you're going to have to sign in and then use that. So this is just to let you know what these other options are. But basically, if you're here for the first time and you're using Obsidian for the first time, you're creating your first vault, then just click on create vault. And then down here you also have different languages that you can choose from. So we're just going to click on create and we're going to create our first vault. Here you're going to give your vault a name. So put in any name for your vault. It could be anything, either your name or whatever you're trying to create. You could name it second brain, you could name it knowledge vault, you could name it student vault, my book project. So I have all of these vaults here with different names, and right now what I'm going to name it is demo vault, and then decide on a location. So pick a place to put your new vault, that folder which I told you about. So click on browse, and then you can see over here I have all of these folders of different vaults, and inside of them are the notes. So I'm going to select this folder here to put my vault inside, and then that's the location I've selected. Click on create, and your new vault is going to be created within seconds. So let's maximize this. So this is the whole vault, and inside of this vault you have right in the center here a note. Here to the right you have the graph view, and over to the left here you're going to have a list of all of your notes here. This is your note and this is your graph view. As you can see, you can open up multiple tabs. So this is your note, and then you can open up another tab and another tab, and then remove those tabs as well. And then in this tab you have the graph view, and here again you can open up more tabs again. And let me just close these, and then both of these tabs are separated by this line here. So they're divided and these two tabs have been split, and then you can decide on the area from here. And in order to split a screen, you just need to go over here to the more options, and then you can split it right or split it down. So across or in this direction, you can split the tabs. Now this note over here is an automatically created note which is going to be present when you enter your vault. This is the title of your note, and then this title is going to be displayed here in the list of notes that you have. And also over here in the graph view, you can see this note here. In the graph view, every note is represented by this tiny circle here, a node, and the title is displayed or labeled. Notes which have a connection with each other are going to be linked together with this line here, and that is going to display the links. Right now we have just one note, and then when we get more notes and links between them, we'll create a really nice cluster, and different clusters are going to be created, and you'll get a nice detailed graph view. So right now we have just one node, and this is what our area looks like. So moving over to the left here, we can see that we have all these options. First of all, we have the quick switcher. So when you open the quick switcher, what this does is you can use shortcuts to access the quick switcher and then switch between the different nodes that you have. So when you're typing, for example, you can use these arrows to navigate between the different nodes and then look at the different nodes and then keep typing. So you don't have to go up here and click on the different nodes. You can switch quickly from here using the shortcuts. Then after quick switcher, you have the graph view. So whenever you click on this one, the graph view opens up. Well, let's try and open it in this tab here. So let's click on the graph view, and then the graph view opens up in here. And then let's click this tab again and open up our note again, and then we are back. So this opens up the graph view, and after graph view you have canvas. So you can also create a canvas in addition to the notes. So when you click here, you can open up a canvas, and then you can add in a card, you can add in a note from your vault, or you can add in media from your vault. So these are going to act similarly. You just drag and drop the card here. Inside it, you can type anything, you can paste anything, you can add in, and then you can also set colors, and then you can delete this. So you can add in all kinds of details that you want to. And then let's just type in some text in here. And then what happens next is you can create these links or these kind of maps. So this is kind of a canvas, an area where you can create these mind maps. So let's put in another note here, and then you maybe want to create a link like this, and then let's open up a note. So you have a note here. Let's select which note we want from our notes here. So we'll select this one, and then you can create another link here. So you can just create really nice mind maps, and then you can even add in a image. And then this is what you can use the canvas area for. So I'm just going to delete the canvas for now. Right click, and then you can click on delete, and then you can delete the canvas. And then same for notes, you can right click, you can rename your note, and you can delete the note as well. So we're going to leave this note here, and then after canvas you have the daily note. So whenever you come up here, you can click on daily note, and then your daily note opens up. The daily note is basically a note which has the date up here displayed. You can change the title as well. You can change the date here, and then you just click enter, and then you can start taking your notes very quickly. You can start typing in whatever you want. The daily notes are basically used for taking very quick notes here. So among any other notes that you have, for example, this is a planned note. You titled it and you put it in. Now the daily note is something that you don't plan for. So you come here, you open Obsidian, and you just quickly open up your daily note, and here you can start taking your notes. So you could note down maybe any task that you have to do, or maybe any idea that quickly came into your mind and you don't want to lose the idea. So when you start planning a note and you start giving it a title and everything, then you lose a lot of your thoughts and you lose your ideas, and you only remember some of it. So the perspective on the daily note is just opening the daily note really quickly and noting down whatever comes to your mind, and then just leaving it there. And then later you can come back and you can go through your notes, and you can see if this note is still useful, if it's maturing into a greater idea, then you can change the title and you can organize this into folders. Now I'll just quickly show you how to create a folder as well. From here you can create notes, and then from here you can create a folder. So this is when you create a note, you can change the title. Let's name it note, and then that's the title, and then you can start writing anything down in your note, and then this note gets saved up here. And you can, as for the daily note, whenever you click on the daily note, this note is going to open up with all the raw ideas, and then you can open up a folder. You can have folders and a lot of folders, and then in this folder I've named it notes. So inside of this folder I'm going to put all the notes, any planned notes, and then here you have the daily notes. So you can even have a folder called daily notes, so you can call it daily notes, and then inside of this folder I'm going to put in all of my daily notes, and then you can organize your notes like this. So the daily notes are going to have all the daily notes, and the notes are going to have all the complete and well thought out notes, and then even these notes could be upgraded to this level, and then when it becomes a good note you can change the title and put it in this folder. So you drag and drop it into this folder. So that is for the folder. I just showed you that in the middle of these that we were going over these tools. So after the daily note you have the template, so you can insert templates as well. When you click here, this is not configured yet, so I'll show you how to configure the templates. So in order to configure the templates, what you need to do is create your template first of all. So click on new note and create the template, give it a title. Now this title is not going to be displayed every time you insert that template, but this title is important so you know what template this is, because you're going to have several templates. So we're going to name this one meeting notes, and then as you can see this note is also visible here too. It's just been created as soon as it came into existence. You can see it on the graph view too. And then here you need details on maybe what the date is, and then just the things that you would include in your meeting template. So date, and then attendees, and then keynotes. Let's put that in. And then what other information would you need? You might need any notes on moving forward or what you need to do next, and then add in any other details. So let's say this is our template and we've created this. So we're going to create a folder and we're going to title that folder templates, and then inside of this folder you're going to put all your templates. So right now we just have one. We're going to put this one in here, and then you're going to go down. So you have your folder and the templates are inside that folder, and you've created this folder for your templates. You're going to go down to settings, and then from here you're going to select the templates option. From here go up to the top right corner in the template folder location, and then tell them the location of your templates folder. Which folder is that? Over here it is this folder titled templates, and then we're going to select that folder from here, and then it is going to be set up. So exit that and then come back here, and then now when you insert the template, you'll be able to insert this template. So let me remove this note from here and let's open up a new note. So for example, you're here, it's time for your meeting, you come up here, you open up your new note, and then you quickly need your meeting notes. You're going to go to insert template, and then you're going to decide which template you need. You're going to select the meeting notes, and then this template will be copied here. So that is how you can use templates. This saves a lot of time. It makes your notes neater and helps with organization. So that is how you configure the templates. Then after templates, you also have the open command palette. So you can open this palette up and you can look at all the different commands available here, and then look at the shortcuts available for these. So this is very helpful. And then at the end you have the bases, so you can create a base as well. Now as for the notes that you are creating, let's create another note here, and every note has its title. So here you're going to enter in the title, and then after that when you go down you can add in a subheading. So to add in a subheading you can enter in these special characters. So you'll enter in the stars, and then you can write a subheading, and then this will be in bold. So you can make the subheading bold, and then when you go down you also have the option of, if you want bullets, then you can enter in the dash and then space, and then you can get the bullet points. So because this is simple markdown, the text is going to be very simple, and you use these shortcuts to format your text. When you right click and you go down and you click on format, you can see all the things that you can do. You can make the text bold, italic, strike through, highlight, and then you also have these options as well. And then if you go to your paragraphs, you can add in bullets and numbered lists, and add a task list and headings, and then you can also insert footnotes and tables, and then a horizontal rule, call out, and then these options, you can add those in to make your text better. But basically with Obsidian, your text is going to stay in Markdown, and it's going to be very simple and neat and tidy and very organized kind of text. Markdown is supported with Obsidian because Markdown will be supported by any other app. So if you take these notes over to a different app, a different platform, this text is going to be supported over there as well. And that is why Obsidian is really powerful in terms of the text and in terms of having markdown as text and having markdown files. So now you can edit the text however you like. And then what else you can do in your notes after creating notes, what Obsidian is really known for and why it's popular. Actually, the base of Obsidian is the linking, and the notes are linked together. In the graph you can see, so any notes which are linked are displayed through a line here, and you'll be able to see the link. So I'll just show you how to actually create those links. For example, go over here to the daily note. Now in my daily note, I know that I have a meeting today and I want to remind myself, take meeting notes using the template. And then when I need to link, I'm going to put in the 2 square bracket. And then what note do I want over here? I want the meeting note. So I have that in the recommendations. I could either type it or select it from here. So I'm going to select this one. And this is my reminder note that I have. I want to remind myself to take the meeting notes using the template so and so. So when I come here, I'll click on this and then I'll be taken to the meeting note, and then I can take notes using those meeting notes. So although I don't really need to set this up because I have it in my templates and I can just insert the template, but just to show you. And now this note and the meeting notes are linked together, which you can see over here. So the meeting note and then this daily note. And then when I click on this note here, I will be taken to that note. Now, additionally, what else I want to do, let us create another link. So let's say I have another note and I'm writing a book. This is my book draft over here, and I'm drafting my book here, and this is my note. And then in my daily notes, I can go back here and I want to remind myself to edit my draft. And then here I'll enter in the link, so enter in the square brackets. Now, which draft do I want to edit? This draft. So here, and then press enter. And then when I click here, I'll be taken to my draft over here. And here you can see another link has been created with the same daily note. Now, the links don't always have to be related to tasks. So it could be an idea, there's a note, and then it could link to this idea over here. They could have some kind of connection, so you can create that link. So this is how you create links. You will quickly get comfortable with this. And then also the interface for the notes is minimal on purpose. It removes distraction so you can focus on thinking and creating links and linking your ideas. And then as you use Obsidian over time, the topics cluster together, the patterns emerge, and the knowledge becomes searchable by relationships. Now, which reminds me, you can also add in tags. So when you go down here and enter in the hash, you can add in any tags. For example, I can add in the tag idea. I could add in a lot of tags here. And then when you need to search for any tag, you'll go here. The tags will be inside of the folders too. So whenever you search for any tag, it will be searched for across the folders and across the notes. So when I go here into the search section and I put in the tag idea, the note which has that tag is going to appear. Additionally, when you open up this side panel over here, you can see that you have backlinks for draft. So this draft, I can see any links that I have, and then I know that this draft is linked to this note. You also have outgoing links and you have tags here. So when you go to tags, you can see all the different tags present here within this vault, and then how many notes contain that tag. So right now we have just one tag, which is idea, and that is visible here. As for the graph view, you can see the connected topics. You can spot any isolated notes as well. So any notes which don't have any connections, you can pinpoint those as well, and then discover any unexpected relationships too. This transforms your note-taking into visual knowledge mapping with Obsidian. Now, in order to make your note-taking and your organization here on Obsidian easier and quicker, you can install some plugins. So for that, you're going to go down here to the settings, click here, and then go to community plugins. Now we have some core plugins which are already here. For example, the switcher and the templates and the daily note. These are plugins which are already there. So you're going to go to the community plugins, and then here you want to turn on the community plugins and then go to browse over here. When you browse plugins, you'll see a lot of these plugins that you can install and start using. For beginners, there are a few plugins which are very popular. Those are the calendar, which can connect the daily notes visually. You have the data viewer, So this is the data viewer here. This is the calendar. With the data viewer, you can create dynamic lists from your notes. And then you also have the templater. With that, you have advanced template automation, which you can install. So make sure that you install one plugin at a time, activate it, and then test it before installing more. Don't overwhelm your system early on. Start simple and expand gradually. So I'm just going to quickly show you one plugin. So we'll go with the calendar. So go to calendar and then you can preview whatever plugin that you want to install. You're going to click on install and then within seconds it will be installed. Then just click enable and then this has been enabled. So our plugin is there. We're going to exit this. We're going to go up here to the top right corner and the calendar appears over here. So there are other plugins which appear in different areas. They could appear over here as well. For example, the task plugin appears here. When you click here, then the task manager opens up. So you have different plugins. So the calendar here is going to open up here and it starts becoming visible here. So I'm just going to close this and open this up again. And then we should be seeing the plugin calendar. So just scroll this and then here you have the calendar. So click here and then the calendar plugin opens up and you can start using this. You can organize your notes according to the days. You can organize your daily notes or whatever notes according to your requirement. And so that is how you will know that Obsidian even now remains one of the most powerful tools for structured thinking and knowledge management. As a beginner, focus on clear note structure, consistent linking, simple folder system, and minimal plugins. Over time, your vault becomes more than notes. It becomes a connected knowledge network that helps you think better, remember more, and work more efficiently. And that's your complete in-depth beginner guide to mastering Obsidian note-taking step by step.